العالمين، ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين، سيدي وحبيبي ونور قلبي أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد، اللهم صل، وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. صلى الله عليك يا نبي الله، صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله، صلى الله عليك وعلى أهل بيتك المظلومين. يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله، السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله، السلام عليك وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر الأهد مني لزيارتكم. All together. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. قال الله العلي العظيم في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فمن حاجك فيه من بعد ما جاءك من العلم فقل تعالوا ندع أبناءنا وأبناءكم ونساءنا ونساءكم وأنفسنا وأنفسكم ثم نبتهل فنجعل لعنة الله على الكاذبين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. عظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصابنا بأبي الأحرار الحسين بن علي عليه أفضل الصلاة والسلام. Tonight our topic is about Ahlulbayt is the only answer. You can never find the answer of your questions when it comes to religion other than the path of Ahlulbayt. And I want you to take this as a claim. And every claim requires a proof. So take this as a claim. But the question is, what is the proof? And I'm talking about this because, especially our youth, we live at a time that everything is questioned. Everything is not left unless it's questioned. And today, many of our youth question, is Ahlulbayt is the true path. How do I know that? Because the Jews, they claim the same thing too. Today, if you walk out in any synagogue, they say, we are on the right path. And without us, there is no heaven for you. That's what they claim. Now you go to the Christians, they say the same thing too. We are on the right path. The only way to heaven is Jesus. Now, if you want to have a good life here and the hereafter, the only path is Jesus. Accept him as your God and Savior. Jannah is ready for you. That's what they claim. And we claim the same thing too. Now, the doubt they put in the mind of our youth, right? How can I believe that the Islam and Ahlulbayt is the true path, not the others? Now, one question, I just want to answer this question tonight before we proceed to the point, brothers and sisters. And why we said Ahlulbayt is the only answer. Number one, before you think about whether Christianity is right or Judaism, I want to tell you this, brother and sisters, you don't have to even worry about it. Because you're a Christian by default anyway. You're a Jew by default anyway. Because Quran tells you and I, you are Christian and you are Jew too. And you cannot be a Muslim without being Christian and Jew first before you become a Muslim. But not their Christians. Not their Judaism they talk about. The Judaism that Musa alayhi salam brought. The Christianity which Isa ibn Maryam brought. Not the one that has been changed. The one that he brought, I accepted and I'm part of it too. And you cannot be a Muslim without accepting that. You know why? Because in Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells you, Sifat al-Muttaqeen, that you will not be considered a muttaqee unless you have these 5 qualities. What are they? Number 1, الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. You have to believe in unseen world. This is to tell us the line between a Muslim and the non-Muslim is the line that we believe in the material world and also unseen world as well. You can't just live in the world of materialism. No. Because most of our belief is unseen. That's one. Now, then the Quran says, وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةِ. Then they also establish prayers. All right? وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. That's number 3. Whatever we give them, they spend for the cause of Allah. وَالَّذِينَ, that's the point. وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِمَا أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ وَمَا أُنزِلَ مِنْ قَبْلِكَ. Ya Rasulullah, they also believe what Allah have sent upon you or revealed upon you, and they believe what Allah have revealed upon the previous prophets. Who are those? Isa is one of them. Musa is one of them. So Quran is telling you, you will not be considered a muttaqi unless you accept whom? Musa and Isa as part of the package that Allah sent to mankind. And that is why in Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah says, لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله. We cannot separate and divide among the prophet and say, I believe in this, I reject this. No, they are one package. And that is why in Surah Al-Saf, when Isa alayhi salam, before he left, before Allah took him to the heaven, he said and told the Christians, he says, سَيَأْتِي مِن بَعْدِ اسْمُهُ أَحْمَدُ. Okay, let me tell you, before I leave, there will be a prophet coming. And that prophet is called Ahmed. Who's the Ahmed? Our prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So before you thinking about Christianity or Judaism, Islam already made you Christian and Jew by default. Now what it is, you accepted the message that Musa alayhi salam brought. And you accept the message of Isa alayhi salam plus the message of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now what is the proof that Ahlulbayt is the only answer? The ayah we just read is called ayatul mubahila. And this is one of the best ayahs in the Quran, talks about the fada'il of Ahlulbayt alayhi salam. And some of the hadith says, if Allah didn't send any ayah in the Quran except ayatul mubahila, it would have been sufficient to tell the ummah about the fada'il of Ahlulbayt alayhim salam. How so? This verse was revealed in year 10th after the hijrah of the Prophet. What happened? The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, Allahumma salli. You know, this Islam went through different stages. And this is very important to know, brothers and sisters. Number one, Islam started with what we call marhala sirriya, a secret step that Islam started. What does it mean? The Prophet started Islam by teaching individuals at night. In his house, people will be hiding to come to Rasulullah. Teach them about Islam, about Tawheed, about Allah, about Quran. But this will be done at hiding. Nobody knows about it. That is called marhala sirriya, the secret step or level that the Prophet started. Then after some time, it took another level where it's called Dhul Ashira I'lan, where Allah told the Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, now it's different stage. What is it? Call your relative and announce Islam to them. And that ayah came, وَأَنذِرْ أَشِيرَتَكَ الْأَقْرَبِينَ. The Prophet invited his family. Abu Lahab is one of them. Abu Talib was one of them. Hamza is one of them. They all came, almost 40 of them. And he announced about his prophecy. That was the second level. Now, the third level, the Prophet was told by Allah, now go to the world, Ya Rasulullah. Tell everybody. The Prophet declared Islam to everybody. Now, then what happened? Another stage, the Prophet started to call certain leaders in the communities. One of them was the king of Africa, who was known as Najashi. Najashi was the king of Africa back in those days. The Prophet sent him a letter, invited him to Islam. He sent another letter to the Christians of Najran. Najran is a city in Yemen. And they were a very strong Christians in Yemen. And they have a very, very educated people. Very learned people. The Prophet sent them a letter too, inviting them to Islam. There is another one to the leader of Persian as well. And amazing, they all responded to the Prophet letter differently. The Christians of Najran, they said, we have to go and meet Muhammad. And I'm quoting their words. Right, we're going to meet him and debate with him to prove him he is not a true prophet. Then what did they do? They chose 60 of the most learned people among them. Well educated in Christianity, very well known among them, to go in the leadership of another leader among them called Askov. In some narration, it's called Harith or Abu Harith. He was the leader to lead the 60 of them to go to meet Rasulullah. They came to Medina and they entered Medina right at the time of Salatul Dhuhrain. And how did they enter? They enter with their drums and they were singing and they were beating drums as they entered Medina. When they came to Medina, straight they came to Masjid al-Nabawi. The Prophet and his companion were in the masjid. They walked into the masjid with their drums. Some companions became so angry. How dare you come into the mosque with your drums and singing in our masjid? The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, Allahumma. He told them, the companions, said, let me handle this. I'm here. I saw everything and I will handle it. What is it? Say, let them in. Allahu Akbar. Look at the akhlaq of Rasulullah. He led the Christians into the Masjid al-Nabawi. He welcomed them for coming to the masjid. And this is one of the akhlaq, brothers and sisters. When we see somebody coming to our centers, our masjids, we need to have akhlaq of how to receive them. One akhlaq can open the mind and heart of someone. One akhlaq can turn someone away where you will become the reason of the person leaving religion or not even thinking about religion. That's why it's very important, as we learn from Rasulullah, when he saw those Christians, even though they disagree with him, they came to debate with him, he was welcoming them. And this is one of the sign of rahmatan lil alameen. As he came and welcomed them, and he told them, what can I do for you? They said, and I quote, Ya Muhammad, we are here to debate you. The Prophet said, welcome. Have a seat. They said, no, we want to pray. You want to pray? So go ahead and pray. They say, Ya Muhammad, we want to go outside and pray and then come back. The Prophet said, you say you want to pray, right? They say, yes. Who? They say, God. They said, pray here. And the message in number, I said, go ahead and pray there. You call him one God, right? So go ahead and pray. Allahu Akbar. Look at akhlaq. They prayed. And some narrations say the Prophet told Imam Ali, Ya Ali, I said, be with them, watch them, see them, make them comfortable. And when they finish, they can meet with me. They met, they prayed, they finished. They came to Rasulullah. Rasulullah, we came to see you. The Prophet said, welcome. What can I do for you? They say, Ya Muhammad, we received your letter. You say, okay. Yes, I send a letter inviting you to Islam. They said, but we have a question. Ya Muhammad, what is your question? The Prophet said, they say, our question is, what is your belief about Isa ibn Maryam? What is your belief about Isa ibn Maryam? The Prophet said, Isa akhi wa nabiyyun min anbiya'illah. Very simple and straight to the point. So Nabi Isa is my brother. And not only is my brother, he also is a messenger of the messengers of Allah. They said, Ya Muhammad, that's why we go, that's where we disagree with you. I said, how do you disagree with me? They say, we believe in Jesus as a son of God. We believe him, not a prophet, as a son of God. And you believe it is as a prophet, you degrading the level of Isa alayhi salam. And respecting him is to believe that he's a son of God. This is where Islam comes in, brothers and sisters. Islam is a religion of logic and philosophy. If anybody tells you other than that, don't believe that. Islam is a religion of mantaq. How? The Prophet said, okay, I heard what you said, but what is your proof? Islam is a religion, is not scared of any question ever. Other religion, they will tell you, no, this is a red zone. Don't go there. Don't ask this question. There is no such thing in Islam. Every question you have, Quran says, bring it on, and we got to answer for you. And Quran tells you, Qul hatu burhanakum. Bring your reasoning, and we will bring our reasoning. That's what Islam is about. So in Islam, anything you have, brothers and sisters, never feel Islam doesn't have an answer for you. Every question you have, the Islam have a question as answer for you. And this is why our maraja, may Allah prolong their life, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect them. This is what they live for. Being the representative of Imam, their job is to answer questions and protect Islam to the best of their ability. So the Prophet said to them, oh, you Christians, why do you make this reasoning that Isa is the son of God? Now listen to their reasoning. They said, Ya Muhammad, since Allah created Adam up to date, have you ever seen any person, any human being, being born from a mother without a father? Good logic. Anyone ever history recorded that this person was born by a mother but no father? Other than Isa. The Prophet said, no, never. Every human being Allah ever created, majority of them, they have a father and a mother. Isa is the only one Allah created him from a mother without a father. They said, okay, Muhammad, if that is the case, that should tell you that his father is Allah. If he has a mother but no father, then his father should be God. That's why we call him Ibnullah, son of God. Then here is the logic of Rasulullah. Now they presented their reason why he has no father and nobody has ever been born or created from the mother and not the father. Good. And because of that, he deserved to be the son of God. Now Rasulullah responds. It says, Ya ma'shar al-nasara. Oh, you the group of Christians. If your logic is Isa doesn't have a father and that makes him to become a son of God, what happened about a one who doesn't have both father and mother? If someone has one parent and you call him son of God. Now, I have someone, we both agreed, he has no father and no mother, but you never took him as a son of God either. So if the logic is because he doesn't have one, so he deserves to be the son of God, then you should treat this one the same thing too. Who? It's Adam alayhi salam. We all agreed that Adam alayhi salam has no father, no mother, right? But don't you believe in that in the history? They say yes, but do you believe him as a son of God? They say no. They say, why didn't you believe? Allah. They said, Ya Rasulullah, this question is right. We don't believe Adam as a son of God. And we don't have an answer to this question either. This is called knockout in debate. Ya Rasulullah, we are knocked down. But we don't have any answer to this question. But give us till tomorrow. We'll come back and see what we can come up with. So Allah said, okay, go ahead. Now who's the winner here? Rasulullah. Good. Now, then before they left, Allah sent this verse we just read in Surah Al Imran. Ya Rasulullah, فَمَنْ حَاجَّكَ فِيهِ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَكَ مِنَ الْعِلْمِ. Whoever disputes you, Ya Rasulullah, in Isa alayhi salam, after the knowledge came from Allah to you about the truth and the reality and the fact, and they still dispute you, they still don't surrender to the truth, فَقُلْ, tell them, تَعَالَوْ نَدْعُ أَبْنَاءَنَا. Tell them, Ya Rasulullah, now the final thing to deal with each other is let us, you, the Christians, call your children. And I, Muhammad, I will call my children too. وَنِسَاءَنَا, and bring your own women, and I, Muhammad, will bring my women. وَأَنفُسَنَا وَأَنفُسَكُمْ, bring yourself, and I will bring myself. ثُمَّ نَبْتَهِلْ فَنَجْعَلْ لَعْنَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَى الْكَاذِبِينَ. Then we ask Allah to send His curse and punishment upon the liar between the two of us. If Muhammad is a liar, Allah sends His punishment on him to the wall. So the history records Muhammad is a liar. Now, if you, the Christians, are liars, Allah sends His punishment on you to prove to the world that you are the liars and Muhammad is the right. Is that a deal? You say, of course, that's the deal. Okay, are you ready? They say, no, Ya Muhammad. Give us till tomorrow morning. Inshallah, we will come and we'll do it. I said, okay. The Christians went to their home where they were supposed to spend the night. Their leader called Askov, he said to the other Christians, he said, Ya ma'shar al-nasara. He said, listen to me, you group of Christians. إِذَا خَرَجَ مُحَمَّدْ غَدَاةَ غَدٍ. Muhammad comes out tomorrow. بِأَصْحَابِ. Now listen careful, brothers and sisters. If he comes out tomorrow with his companions, he is a liar. And we will do the mubahila And I guarantee you, we will win Muhammad. But if he comes with his family, closest one to him, then the story is different. But let's see and watch what will happen tomorrow. The next day, the Prophet asked Salman al-Farisi, Ya Salman, go outside at this location and set up a place where the mubahala will take place. By the way, how do you do mubahala? And I want you to know, brothers and sisters, mubahala can be done today and tomorrow and anytime. It's a sunnah Allah taught the Prophet for us. Anytime you have a dispute with someone and you know you're on the right, you can do mubahala as the Prophet taught us how to do it. Number one, how do you do mubahala? Mubahala takes place early in the morning, before the sunrise. You go to a place, open place. You put your knees on the ground. And then you open your fingers this way. It's called in Arabic, tashabukul asabi. This. And then the Christians who dispute you, he puts his fingers between your fingers like this. And then you, a Muslim, you will hold the finger in this way. That's called tashabukul asabi. Then you look in the sky and you say these words. Allahumma inna fulan. You mention the person's name. Allahumma, this person. Kad jahada haqqa. He has rejected the truth. The truth is there. It's very clear. But he rejected the truth. Wa aqarra batilan. And confirms the falsehood. Allahumma fa'anzil alayhi husbanan minas sama'. Ya Allah, send your punishment from the sky on that person. The narration says, you say this how many times? 70 times. But the guarantee is, you will not reach 70 until the punishment comes and destroy the person in the sin. That's what you call mubahala. So the next day, the Christians came out, watching who the Prophet is going to bring. As they came to see, the Prophet was coming. And guess who did he bring? And I want you, brothers and sisters, check all the tafasirs. And this is not about Sunni or Shia. This is about the Quran al-Kareem. Tafsir al-Kabir. It's one of the Sunni, Ahl Sunnah tafsir. One of them, Tafsir al-Zamakhshari. Tafsir al-Suyuti. All of these are Ahl Sunnah great scholars. And they all recorded this incident as this is what happened. What happened? Kharaja Rasulullah. The Prophet came out. Wa alayhi mirtun aswad. Prophet came out with the black on his shoulder. And he was walking as they saw him coming. And the scene is amazing. They say, Kharaja Rasulullah wal Hussain ala sadrih. As he walks, now all of this matters, brothers and sisters. You know why? Because Rasulullah, Quran says, La yantiqu anil hawa in huwa illa wahyun yuha. He doesn't speak on his own desire, right? He doesn't act on his desire as well. His words is a revelation. His actions are revelations too. Ya Rasulullah, why are you carrying Hussein? He can walk. I said, I'm carrying for a reason. Kharaja Rasulullah wal Hussein ala sadri. Hussein also was placed on his chest. Wa ayna al-Hasan? Al-Hasan an yamini. Al-Hasan is on the right side. Then whom? It's right behind Al-Rasul is Fatima al-Zahra salamullahi alayhi. And behind Fatima, guess who was behind her? Nobody but Aliyun Amirul Mu'mineen salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. Now question, Ya Rasulullah, why Hussein on your chest, not walking? This is to tell you, Rasulullah, practically, أن لولدي الحسين لحرارة في قلوب المؤمنين. Hussein's place is in this heart for the believers. So practically he has to be here. And he says, Hussein minni wa ana min al-Hussein. Hussein is from me. Practically, look, he is here to tell the world he's from me. Ya Rasulullah, why Hasan on the right side? I want to tell you, Al-Hasan is the sign of the right path from the wrong path. Practically, if you want to know, am I on the right path or wrong? Look at Hasan. He is the symbol of the right after Rasulullah. Ya Rasulullah, what about Zahra? Why Zahra is between you and Imam Ali? Allahu Akbar. Al-Quran says, Maraj al-Bahrayn yaltaqiyan. What does it mean? Look at the tafsir Nur al-Thaqalain. Say, Maraj al-Bahrayn. Al-Bahrayn, it talks about two oceans which met at one point. Right? Now this is the tafsir of it from Ahlulbayt point of view. Why? Because Zahra is between the ocean of Nubuwwah and the ocean of Imamah. And they both came to meet where? In somebody called Fatima al-Zahra. Sallallahu. That is Zahra alayhi salam. Then right after her is Imam Ali. Because Rasulullah is the seal of the Prophet. Right after him, there will not be any prophet. Now the turn is going to be what? With the Imamah. But this Risala which is coming to end, it has to transfer through the Imamah, and then Imamah takes its course from that point. But where will they meet? So the Imamah takes its course right after the Risala. As Zahra is the place where the Risala and the Imamah meet, so that the Imamah takes its course. And that is why the Prophet put them that way. Now, why Ali alayhi salam? Because Ali is the first Imam after Rasulullah. That is that's the message the Prophet brought as he walked with them to the place. And the Prophet made this to tell us, according to what the Quran says, Ya ay فمن حاجك في من بعد ما جاءك من العلم فقل تعالوا ندعو أبناءنا. Al-Hasan, Al-Hussein, Rasulullah said they are my children. Now somebody will say, no, but they are not biological children. Quran says, yes, they are true the children of Rasulullah. That's why the ayah Abna'ana, our children. And he brought Imam Al-Hasan and Hussein. Then after that, it said, وَنِسَاءَنَا, and our women. And yeah, brothers and sisters, check every tafsir. If the Prophet ever took any of his wives, with all the respect, with all of them, Ummahat al-Mu'mineen, they are on our head, right? But Rasulullah, with all of them being there, Salama, Safiya, all of them, they were there. The Prophet didn't bring anyone to represent our women other than Zahra, salamullahi alayha. And look at the Imam Ali alayhi salam also. The ayah says, wa anfusana. Ourselves. Ya Rasulullah, who is there to be equivalent to you, to be nafsun nabi? The Quran says, wa anfusana. But Rasulullah, no, nafsun nabi is nobody but Aliyun Amir al-Mu'mineen, salamullahi alayhi. Salam. Now this is to confirm what the Quran is saying. Ya Ali, the Quran says, wa anfusana wa anfusakum. Now this is just one ayah. There's another ayah also in Surah At-Tawbah which clarifies this ayah that no doubt Aliyun is the nafsun nabi. When this ayah At-Tawbah, Surah At-Tawbah was revealed, the Prophet received it. And this is mentioned in Tafasir that Abu Bakr, the Prophet, asked him, Ya Abu Bakr, take this verse and go and deliver to the mushrikeen. He took the ayah Surah At-Tawbah on his way. Another ayah came, Ya Rasulullah, inna al-ayah la yuballighuha illa ant aw shakhsun mithlak. Ya Rasulullah, the ayah cannot be delivered by anyone except you or somebody like you. Ya Rasulullah, وَمَنْ مِثْلُكَ? Who is somebody like you? Prophet, Ya Ali, take the message to Abu Bakr. Meet him on the way and give him two choices. What are they? I said, tell him that Rasulullah told me to come and take the ayah from you and deliver the ayah myself. And if you wish to come, if you wish, you can go back to Medina. The choice is yours. You can come and I'll have to deliver, or you can go back to Medina. Imam Ali met Abu Bakr on the way. The first time as he met him, he said, Ya Ali, hal nazala fiyya shay? Did Allah send something regarding me? He said, Bala ya Abu Bakr. What is it? The Prophet was told that somebody different have to deliver. What is it? Say the ayah said, I have to take it and I have to deliver. If you want, you come with me. If you want, you go back to Medina. I said, no, Ya Ali, I don't want to go. I'll go back to Medina. I said, go ahead. He took the ayah and he was the one to deliver the ayah instead of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. And that is why when they ask Imam Hanbal, one of the four school of thought, one of the scholars, when they ask him, Ya Hanbal, man hum ashabun nabi? Can you tell us who are the companions of the Prophet? She said, of course I can tell you. Who are they? He said, the first one I know is Abu Bakr. He said, good. Who is the second? He said, the second is Umar bin al-Khattab. He said, okay, who's the third? He said, Uthman. Then whom? He said, these are the great ones that I know. Good. Then they ask him, وَأَيْنَ اخْتَرَقْتَ عَلِيًّا? What about Ali? It's not a companion too. It's not a great one. Listen to his beautiful answer. And this is coming from one of the four teachers of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. What did he say? He says, سَأَلْتُمُونِي عَنِ السَّحَابَةِ. You asked me about who are the companions, and I told you. وَلَمْ تَسْأَلُونِي أَنْ مَنْ هُوَ نَفْسُ النَّبِي. You didn't ask me who is نفس النبي. If you would have asked me, لَقُلْتُ لَكُمْ ذَاكَ عَلِيٌّ أَمِيرُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. I would have told you, نفس النبي is nobody but علي أمير المؤمنين. That is Imam Ali alayhi salam. This scene that we just mentioned, as they walk out, coming to the place of Mubahala, then the leader of those Christians saw. As they came, he asked, Man hum haula? Who are those that Muhammad brought? His companions, so we can just go do the Mubahala. They say, look, Ya Harith, the first one who is on the chest is the younger grandson of Rasulullah. The one on the right side is another grandson, that's the older one, called Hasan. The lady between him and the man is called Fatima. That is the dearest daughter that has left for Rasulullah. The one after her is his son-in-law, and it's called Aliyun Amir al-Mu'minin. These are the people the Prophet brought. The Christian leader, the monk, priest, he says, Ya ma'shar al-Nasara. He turned to his Christian group, right? Ya ma'shar al-Nasara, inni la ara wujuhan law aqsamat ala Allah an yuzila jabalan min makanihi la azal. He said, I look at those faces and I see if any of them is to ask Allah to move a mountain from one location to another, Allah would have done that out of honor for them. No question, brothers and sisters. A Christian can see the nur of Ahlulbayt and a Muslim cannot see them? A Christian, he saw the fadail of Ahlulbayt alayhim salam, and he said, I can see these people. If they ask Allah to move them out, Allah would have done it. And you and I question the fadail of Ahlulbayt? I'm sorry, I can't do anything for you, brother. If you don't see the nur where the Christian sees it, then I'm sorry, I have nothing to say after this. After that, they say to Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, aqilna. Ya Rasul, we surrender. Why? We are not going to do mubahala. Why? Because we know if we are to do mubahala, none of us will remain on this earth. And Rasulullah turned and he looked at Ahlulbayt alayhi salam. And he said to them, Walladhi ba'athani nabiyya. I swear by Allah, who sent me as a messenger, لو باهلوا لمسخوا قرد وخنازير. If they dare to do the mubahala, they would have been turned to monkeys and pigs in the scene. They wouldn't have survived it. That's the reason. Now, question, brothers and sisters. Now, the Christians, why did they see that? Why did they say that if the Prophet brings his companions, do the mubahala? If he brings his family, don't do the mubahala. Wallahi, brothers and sisters, there is no leader like Prophet. You know why? Let me tell you a practical example why. This is the example. Today, you check every country in the world that we live in today. Every country that comes in your mind. If there is a war against the country, who do they send to the battle? Their own children? Or somebody else? Somebody else. Where do they keep their children? Some of them, they fly them to other countries to make sure that they're safe, right? Because they don't want anything to happen to their family. That's no leaders for you, right? But Rasulullah has said, no, because I know I'm the right and I know I'm doing the right, my family will be brought in line to prove that I am a true messenger and a true leader. That's why the Christians, they said, if Muhammad is to bring his companion, means he's a liar. It's like any other leader today. But if he brings his dear family, that means no. He means what we call business. And that's what Rasulullah did. Rasulullah, as they came and they saw what the Prophet was about, they said, Ya Rasulullah, akilna, we surrender. The Prophet said, look, we will allow you. But there is something called jizya you have to pay. You know, you let the Muhammad to bring his family out, all of this, for what? They say, Ya Rasulullah, we'll pay the jizya. Ya Rasulullah, we surrender. And what happened? This incident, those Christians, they went back to Najran, Yemen, and they came back and they accepted Islam because of this incident. This Allah. This was the reason why, if somebody tells you today Islam is a religion of bloodshed, Islam is a religion of sword, tell them they don't know what Islam is about. Islam is rather the religion of logic and sense. This is a battle between the Prophet and the Christians, but which battle? A battle without a sword, a battle of logic and knowledge. And who won the battle? The Islam and the Muslims. This is one of the fada'il of Ahlulbayt alayhim salam. Not only that, this ayah, when it was revealed, it proves what the hadith of the Prophet saying to us. He said, Ya Aliyun khalaqani Allahu wa khalaqaka min nurin wahida wa khalaqa sa'ira an-nas min nurin shatta. Ya Ali, khalaqani Allah wa khalaqaka min shajaratin wahida. Ya Ali, Allah created me and you from one nur. And Allama al-Majlisi, he said, أَوَّلُ مَا خَلَقَ اللَّهُ نُورُ نَبِيِّكُمْ. The first thing Allah created was the nur of your messenger. Then that nur split into two. Half is called Muhammad and the other half is called Aliyun alayhi salam. There is the hadith to tell us that Imam Ali alayhi salam is the second person after Rasulullah. But with all of these fada'il the Quran mentioned, what did the people do to Ahlulbayt alayhim salam? With all of these fada'il that Allah and the Prophet and also the Quran with many ayahs. Those Hasan alayhi salam, he was given a poison A poison they don't even give to the worst animals to drink and die. What happened to Hussein? He was murdered in the land of Karbala. 3 days deprived from the water. What happened to Zahra? Bid'at Rasulillah. Today Muslims don't even know where her grave is. She was buried at night because of the tragedy she went through. And she told her husband, Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ya Ali, udfunni laylan idha namat al-uyun. Ya Ali, don't bury me during the daytime. Bury me at night when all are asleep. Not only that, Ya Ali, wa'affi mawda'a qabri. And make sure nobody knows where my grave is. What happened to Ali and Amir al-Mu'mineen? He was struck while he was in the middle of his salat in Masjid al-Kufa. I wish that was the end of the story for this Ahlulbayt alayhim as-salam. Even on the day of Ashura, children were not saved from the ummah of this Prophet Muhammad. The worst of all the tragedies of Karbala is the tragedy of Ali al-Asghar. Imam Zayn al-Abidin Salamullahi alayh is the whole Karbala is a tragedy, no doubt about it. But the worst of all is the martyrdom of my brother Ali al-Asghar. What happened after the martyrdom of Imam Hussain alayhi salam? Imam Zayn al-Abidin, every day after he left and he went back to Medina, anytime somebody come from Iraq, the first question he will ask, what happened to the killer of my brother Ali al-Asghar? He said, كيف حلفت حرملة? How did he, is he still living? They'll say, Bala ya ibn Rasulillah. He's still there. Imam Zayn al-Abidin will raise his hand and he says, Allahumma adhik harmalata harra al-hadid. Ya Allah, let him taste the taste of the iron, the way he made my brother Ali al-Asghar felt. Imam Zayn al-Abidin, every time he hears the tragedy of Ali al-Asghar, the narration says, اختلت دموع عينيه بالماء. A water he was to drink, his tears mixed with that water because of the tragedy of Ali al-Asghar. Anytime they give him a food, as he eats, if he hears any tragedy of Karbala, his mind goes to Ali al-Asghar. What happened? Ya Imam Zayn al-Abidin, he said, on the day of Ashura, وَإِذَا بِعَلِيِّ الْأَصْغَرِ, my brother mother was bringing him to his father. And he said, I was watching the scene. She brought him to Imam Hussain alayhi salam, and she says, Ya Aba Abdullah, لَقَدْ جَفَّتِ الثَّدِي. I have no milk left for this infant. And 3 days has passed. He has not tasted the water, Ya Aba Abdullah. Is there any way you can get water for this baby? My brothers and sisters, you don't hear in UK or every part of the world, today many parents, when they drive, they put on their car baby on board. You know what that means? Please drive careful. There is an innocent child in this car. He is innocent. Please don't hurt him. Please be cautious as you drive. This is just ordinary child, huh? Now these people on the day of Ashura, they didn't even have a cautious for the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi. Imam Hussain alayhi salam, he took Ali al-Asghar and he was holding him, and he looked at the people. He says, Ya ma'ashar al-qawm. He said, you group of people, if you consider me the criminal, so be it. Take me criminal, fine. But what is the crime of this baby? What did he do to deserve you and deprive him from water? Please give him some water. Some of them, they said, اسقوه ماء. Can you give him some water? Please give him. Some of them. But then some of them said, no, don't give him water. They started dispute among themselves. Then Umar ibn Sa'ad looked at a man called Harmala la'natullahi alayhi. He said to Harmala, Ya Harmala, look at the dispute among my army. Please just shoot the boy. Just kill the boy to end the dispute among my army. Now look at this baby in the arm of his father. His lips was dry. He was hoping a drop of water from somewhere, from somebody who has at least decency for the humanity. Forget about religion. At least be decent in your humanity. What happened? The narration said from the Imam Hussain ibn Ali, فإذا أخرج حرملة, فإذا حرملة took his arrow out. He took the arrow straight towards this infant. What happened, Ya Amir, Ya Imam Zayn al-Abidin? He said, suddenly, instead of water, he received an arrow shot at him. Now, what happened, Ya Imam Zayn al-Abidin? He was describing the scene for you tonight. He says, Sad'atan, faj'atan, suddenly I saw my brother in the arm of my father. يرفرف كالطير المذبوح. So he was going up and down as a bird that has been slaughtered, and no wings to fly, and having died to rest from the pain. He says, suddenly a blood started gushing from the neck. Abu Abdullah, he put his hand under the neck of his son. The hand was filled with the blood. He looked in the sky and he says, إلهي لا يكونن هذا أهون عليك من فصيل ناقة صالح. Ya Allah, this crime shouldn't be less compared to the crime of the people of Salah. He put his hand the second time and the hand was filled again. But this time he wiped the face of Ali al-Asghar. And then he turned, coming back to the tent. Guess what? Here is the worst musibah, brothers and sisters. Now the clueless mother, she was running towards her son. She was talking to Abu Abdullah. هل سقيت ابني ماء وجئتني ببقيته. Have you given my son some water? Have they given him water and you brought something for me? Imam Hussain responded to her, أخذي ولدك مذبوحا من الوريد إلى الوريد. He said, take your son who has been slaughtered from one jugular vein to other jugular vein. Now look at the mother. When she looked at her son, she said, Ali al-Asghar, I wish I knew they will kill you on the day of Ashura. I would have addressed you like the way all the shuhada came on the battlefield. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون والعاقبة للمتقين. يا حسين,